The very first episode of Sex and the City premiered 25 years ago, and the series is remembered for its larger-than-life fashion and flings. But even more controversial than some of the episodes is the enduring off-screen drama between stars Sarah Jessica Parker and Kim Cattrall. Even since the early days of SATC, there have been rumors of infighting between the pair and speculation that's only strengthened with Kim Cattrall's absence from And Just Like That, which I actually watched And Just Like That, and I enjoyed it, which is a reboot of Sex and the City, but it is clear that Kim is missing from the group. Back in 2004, Kim appeared on Friday Night with Jonathan Ross, where she admitted money was part of the reason why the show ended. Quote, "I felt after 6 years it was time for all of us to participate in the financial windfall of Sex and the City. When they didn't seem keen on that, I thought it was time to move on," claiming that she did not make as much as other people and she wanted to make more. She saw more out of her Hollywood career. Part of the reason why Kim felt this way was because Sarah Jessica Parker had a different experience at the network. In 2008, we learned that actually Sarah Jessica Parker was bumped up to an executive producer title, which actually gave her a salary of up to $300,000. This actually led to Kim Cattrall renegotiating her salary because she felt it wasn't fair. The Telegraph reported that the crew members said that the girls were not happy about this and wouldn't even sit with Kim at mealtimes.
Did you know that the main reason for Kim Cattrall and Sarah Jessica Parker's feud could be the pay gap between them? SJP earned $15 million for the first Sex and the City movie and $20 million for the second, compared to Cattrall's $7 million and $10 million.
Now, I have a feeling that Sarah Jessica Parker knows that she's the star of the show, and Kim knows that as well, which Kim was paid decently, but not as much. Actually, at the 2004 Emmys, Kim did not sit with the rest of her cast, and she was asked about this. She said, "Are we the best of friends? No. We're professional actresses. We have our own separate lives." In that same report, Sarah Jessica Parker was quoted saying that they were friends. Quote, "Honestly, we're all friends, and I wish I saw more of Kim. She mentioned money, and no one should try to vilify her for it. People made a decision that we had vilified her." The publisher Mary Claire asked Kim about the rumor that she was the holdout on making the first movie. In response, Kim said, "4 years ago, I was going through a painful public divorce. The series was coming to an end, and my father was diagnosed with dementia. I felt like it was time to be real with my family. A year and a half ago, I was sent a script, and I was ready and strong enough to revisit Samantha. In some ways, I'm glad we waited. The script and the experience of making the movie was the best possible reunion. So things were on the up and up." But in 2009, everything changed because Sarah and Kim were no longer on speaking terms. And supposedly this tension on set made everyone uncomfortable. And it must be hard to work with someone that you genuinely do not like, especially when these characters are so close. And a lot of this we weren't aware of. I mean, we saw things in articles that kind of, projected this feud, but we didn't really know. I mean, we got little tidbits from Kim, but there was one man who decided to do an inside scoop into what really was the dynamic behind the scenes, because these actresses weren't friends like they played on television or in these movies, and everyone on set could feel it.
In 2008, Clifford Straight, the real-life inspiration behind Willie Garson's Stanford Blatch, tried to sell a book proposal about the Sex and the City stars. According to the New York Post, in the proposal, Straight revealed that while the four stars were the best of friends on screen, the reality was very different. According to Straight, Cattrall was a natural comedian and a scene stealer in the best possible sense. The camera went right to her. That didn't sit well with Sarah Jessica Parker, who was supposed to be the series lead, so Parker reportedly decided to ostracize Cattrall. Straight claims Parker, Cynthia Nixon, and Kristen Davis supposedly formed a clique, which omitted Cattrall and the show's creator-producer Darren Star. Cattrall and Star reportedly leaned on each other, but when Star exited the show after 2 seasons, Michael Patrick King took over his role. Cattrall was left completely isolated. The alleged rift was so major that while shooting in Atlantic City, Parker supposedly rented a house to share with Davis and Nixon, but didn't invite Cattrall.
So it wasn't just like Kim was trying to isolate herself. It seems like Sarah was happy to kind of kick Kim to the curb because she wanted to be the main character. In 2009, when Elle asked Sarah Jessica Parker about the rumors that Kim Cattrall did not get along with the other cast members, she said, "I don't think anybody wants to believe that I love Kim. I adore her. I wouldn't have done the movie without her. Didn't and wouldn't." So Sarah's trying to play nice. But then when the Daily Mail brought up Sarah's comments, Kim said, "I think Sarah was right. People don't want to believe that we get along. They have too much invested in the idea of two strong, successful women fighting with each other. It makes for a juicy gossip and copy. She said, she and I are sick of this. It's exhausting talking about this feud. It's a real bore. So in 2010, it seemed like we saw peace on the horizon. In that same interview, Sarah said that sometimes feelings get hurt. Cynthia Nixon was quoted saying, it hasn't always been smooth sailing, but the idea that we're somehow against each other is ludicrous. Kristen Davis also talked about a tabloid story that she and Kim Cattrall would eat in their hotel restaurant but not sit together. She claims that that's not true. She would go and eat alone in her hotel room and Kim would go to the restaurant by herself, and they just did their own thing. It wasn't like they were not trying to be around each other. Now, things cooled down for a couple of years until 2016. Sarah Jessica Parker appeared on Howard Stern, where she said the rumors over the years truly bothered her. She said, was every day perfect? No, but this is a family of people who needed each other. And of course, Sarah Jessica Parker is going to be cool with everything because she was the one who led the show. She was the main character. She made the most money, and she's the most, I think, in my opinion, notorious out of all those actresses. I knew about her before I knew about the show.
Does it still annoy you that the perception is that you and Kim Cattrall didn't get along in that show? And you've said a million interviews, hey, I have no beef. She has no beef with me. I don't know where that came from. So where does something like that come from?
I don't know. It used to really confound me and really upset me because, we were part of a family of sopranos and nobody ever questioned the relationships of the men on that show, and no one ever said to them, did you hang out this weekend with each other? Or did you give each other Christmas presents? Or what message did you send? Was every day perfect? Were people always desperately, hopelessly in love with each other? No, but this is a family of people who needed each other, relied upon each other, and loved each other. And this sort of narrative, this ongoing catfight, it really used to really, not even irk, it really upset me. I take very seriously my reputation. I work really hard and I treat people well. To suggest that I'm behaving poorly or not treating somebody well,
that's not you.
It's like, it's not even like it's not me. It's so anathema that it would drive me bananas.
So, of course, Sarah Jessica Parker does not want to be known as a diva or someone who was snide to Kim Cattrall. In 2017, the Daily Mail reported that the third Sex and the City movie was canceled due to demands from Kim Cattrall. According to the Daily Mail, Warner Bros. Had given the much anticipated project the green light after months of speculation. However, the studio can no longer move ahead as Kim Cattrall demanded they produce other movies that she had in development or she wouldn't sign up for the project. Warner Brothers refused to meet her demands and they had to cancel the production. Shoot. So she wanted other things and to make more money and to probably disconnect a little bit from the franchise, but nope, she's not allowed. Kim Cattrall tweeted in response saying the only demand she made was not to do the movie. She claimed that she said no to the movie back in 2016. Sarah Jessica Parker chimed in saying there would be no Sex in the City 3. Quote, it's over. We're not doing it. I'm disappointed. We had this beautiful, funny, heartbreaking journey. She goes on and on. It's not just disappointing that we don't get to tell the story and have that experience, but I think more so that the audience has been so vocal about wanting another movie, and it would make a lot of money. Kristen Davis also confirmed the news on Instagram, writing, it's true, we're not going to be doing a third film. I wish we could have made the final chapter on our own terms to complete the stories of our characters. She's saying it's frustrating that they cannot do this, and that puts a lot of heat on Kim Cattrall because all the fans are going to look at Kim and blame her for ruining something they've wanted for years now. During an interview with Piers Morgan, Kim says that she will not do another movie and that she was never really friends with her co-stars. When asked by Piers if there will ever be any more of Sex and the City, Kim said, not for me. That was the part of turning 60. It was a really clear moment of how many years do I have left and what do I want to do with it? Which I understand. If she never really felt proud of her role, and she never really has on that series, then does she want to do it towards the end of her life? She went on to explain that she turned down an offer to make a third movie in December 2016. She claims that she simply said, no, I'm good, and she didn't demand anything. She said it isn't about more money. It's not about more scenes. It's not about any of those things. It's about a clear decision, an empowered decision in my life to end one chapter and to start another. And I think you have to respect her in that sense, but there's definitely that weird holdup and pressure, and probably a lot of peer pressure from the network, from the co-stars, from the fans. And I would be probably paranoid and stressed out if I was Kim, with all these people wanting this to happen and really genuinely not wanting to do it.
Will there ever be any more Sex in the City?
Not for me. This isn't about more money. It's not about more scenes. It's not about any of those things. This is about a clear decision, an empowered decision in my life to end one chapter and start another.
You never really got on.
We've never been friends. We've been colleagues. And in some ways, it's a very healthy place to be, because then you have a clear line between your professional life and relationship and your personal. To get any kind of negative press about something that I've been saying for almost a year of no, that that I'm demanding or a diva, specifically Sarah Jessica Parker, is that I think she could have been nicer. I really think she could have been nicer. I don't know what her issue is. I think the thing that still bothers me is this feeling that of being in some way made to be the baddie. I mean, I never asked for any money. I never asked for any projects. To be thought of as some kind of diva is absolutely ridiculous.
It does make me question if the network planted this story to make Kim look like she's difficult to work with. She's demanding. No one's going to want to hire her after this. And to really get those fans all fueled up, sending her messages that she's in the wrong for making this choice. Remember, a New York Post article revealed information surrounding the drama on the Sex and the City set. The article claimed that the 3 stars formed a group together and left out Kim Cattrall. The New York Post also referenced a Page 6 report that said while shooting in Atlantic City, Sarah Jessica Parker rented out a house for all the girls except for Kim. But an HBO spokesperson said that Kim did not stay with the other girls because her husband was supposed to come to be there with her. Towards the end of the series, one insider told Page 6 that no one was speaking to Kim Cattrall. So really, she's always felt left out, and I think she's a little bit bitter about it, which I think anyone who's been left out or felt that way, I felt that way before in my life, you get a little bit bitter sometimes. So Kim might feel that way, but also it's been so many years, I think she's just so tired of talking about it.
When was the last time you spoke to any of the other 3?
It must have been at some event. I don't even remember.
Years ago?
Got to be. And that's another thing that's really disappointing, is that nobody ever picks up the phone and tries to contact you and you say, how you doing? That would have been the way to handle it. And usually what happens in a healthy relationship is that someone offered, or a transaction for a job in my business, is that someone says, are you available? And you say, yes, and here's the job. And they say, well, yes, but thank you very much. I'm sort of over here right now, but thank you very much. And that person turns to you and they say, that's great, good luck to you, I wish you the best. That's not what happened here. It feels like a toxic relationship.
Well, they're all basically blaming you for ruining everybody's fun.
Kim Cattrall is ruining everyone's fun, but don't worry, Sarah Jessica Parker is here to, switch things up. Actually, Sarah referenced the new opening in the Sex and the City cast while she was on Stephen Colbert, saying maybe they have, room to fill the void with someone else. And that is how they end up proceeding.
Well, there's an opening.
Oh, really? What would my character be like?
Well, according to just very recent documentation of why we're not making it, it's because the part usually played by Kim Cattrall has been vacated. So that's what I mean, that perhaps you want to play Samantha.
I could sense some shade from Sarah by name-dropping Kim Cattrall as the reason why the movie isn't happening. While appearing on Ellen, she was asked about the possibility of this movie without Kim Cattrall. Sarah said, I think there's a period of grief and a mourning process. But then they're going to sit down at some point and eventually figure out what to do with this franchise because it has too much money at stake.
I want to know about Sex and the City, if you don't mind.
Oh, what do you want?
Well, here's what I want to know. It was going to happen, then it wasn't going to happen. Then I think it was going to happen, then you asked Stephen Colbert to be a part of it.
Correct.
And
well, he put me in a tough place.
Yeah, so you kind of had to
so
ask
I said,
him.
Oh, sure, you play Samantha.
Right.
But now I'll offer you the same opportunity. I'm going to go across the lands.
To ask everyone? But is that the situation? So she's not coming back, but you can still do it without her, right?
Yeah, I think there's a period of grief.
Yes.
A mourning process.
Yes.
And then perhaps we'll be able to consider, say, for instance, you playing Samantha.
Yeah. It's so me. First of all, let's just answer the question. Is there going to be a Sex and the City?
3?
Yeah.
No, but there will be a Sex and the City 4. Wouldn't that be hilarious?
Just jump in. Yeah, just skip it.
I don't know. You know what? I don't know.
You don't know.
Last week I said no because reality is it's a brutal companion. But I feel like maybe I don't know. I just got to make up an answer because I have absolutely no idea.
Okay, if you don't know, you don't know.
But who knows?
All right.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
Yes,
you
who knows?
You should know.
We'll find
but
a way. Right now, I don't.
You don't know. All right.
Thank you for watching this clip from the Let's Get Into It podcast. To view the full episode, visit the link listed below.